Habakkuk was a prophet, otherwise nothing is known about him. Though most prophets spoke to the people on behalf of God, Habakkuk spoke to God on behalf of the people. The northern kingdom of Israel fell to the Assyrians in 722 BC. These conquerors subsequently fell to the Babylonians in 612 BC. The Babylonians, or Chaldeans, would also eventually bring Jerusalem and the whole southern kingdom of Judah to ruin. In 609 BC, King Josiah of Judah was killed in battle by Pharaoh Necho of Egypt, and Judah came under Egyptian control. Necho was subsequently defeated by the Babylonians 4 years later, and Judah fell into the hands of Babylon by 604 BC. Jehoiakim, the king whom Necho had placed on Judah's throne, rebelled against Babylon in about 600 BC. Now, in response, Nebuchadnezzar, the Babylonian king, warred against Jerusalem. He replaced Jehoiakim in 598 BC and forced his son Jehoiakim into exile the next year. But that was not the end of Judah's misery. Zedekiah, Judah's final king, also rebelled against Babylon in 588 BC. And as a result, Nebuchadnezzar descended on Jerusalem with a vengeance, ravaged the city, destroyed the temple, and carried many of Judah's people, including Zedekiah, into exile in 587 through and 586 BC. Habakkuk was a perplexed prophet who lived in the last days of the southern kingdom of Judah, and before the Babylonians invaded it and took the people into captivity. Now, the prophet struggled because God used the evil Babylonians to judge his people. So, in other words, he used the clearly unrighteous to judge the more righteous, and Habakkuk wrestled with whether God was fair for doing so. So while we all struggle with this issue at times, the book of Habakkuk serves as an invitation to look at the who when we don't understand the why. It prompts us to trust God's sovereignty, couldn't get the word out, over his kingdom. And even when we don't comprehend him, Habakkuk invites us to draw near to God even when we don't get all of our questions answered, and even when it seems that God is working against us. So the book of Habakkuk teaches that we can take our stand and praise God even when we don't grasp what he's doing. Habakkuk encourages us with his praises of God at the end of the book, and with his declaration, the righteous one will live by his faith.